Continental Africans and Caribbean folk are also ebbing and flowing between feeling superior and inferior too. We're all suffering from identity wounds that are caused by historical trauma and historical erasure. And this is a very subconscious process. This is not an overt way of being. And this is just my analysis of the psyche. And for you to follow my understanding, think about white folk. This idea of white supremacy is rooted in low-key and inferiority complex. But if you were to ask a person of European descent, do they feel inferior to folk who are of African descent, they'll be like, hell no. But why would you feel the need to dominate another if you didn't feel like you were inferior to them? If you love yourself, you know that we're all intimately connected to each other, specifically as it relates to our race and ethnicity, you wouldn't feel the need to dominate certain spaces. You wouldn't feel the need to put other people down. And when you would see people who would put you down, you wouldn't make that person the monolith of how all Caribbean or all continental African folk are. You would know that, oh, this is because of historical erasure that they're treating me like this. I'm going to chalk it up to the game. I'm going to chalk it up to colonization. I'm going to chalk it up to the system. But I know there are other brothers and sisters who are Pan-African and who do want to be in camaraderie with us. But that's not the case, right? It's a lot of back and forth, which is why I say I think we're all ebbing and flowing between those feelings. I've had Caribbean folk think that me and my family who are African American are judging them and that they want a green card and all of this other stuff off the strength that they were immigrants. That is not how we thought, which in turn caused them to have a superiority complex and begin to judge our traditions, judge who we are. That person was dealing with an inferiority complex turned superiority complex. I've had African Americans in high school because I was Pan-African and I would always rep Africa look at me and be like, oh, you love that African shit. Superiority complex. But I've never looked at them and said, oh, all African Americans are so ignorant and they don't know their history. No, I chalked it up to the game because I know it's a product of colonization. I know it's a trauma based on historical erasure. It's an identity wound. I went in gas stations with African earrings on and the Ethiopians look at me and they say, oh, what part of Africa are you from? And I'm like, oh, I don't know what part, but I know I'm from the motherland. And they kind of like look at each other and laugh and kind of function in this condescending way. Did I stop messing with all continental Africans? No. I chalked it up to the game that is colonization. I know plenty of folk who are continental Africans who really do not know the history of African Americans and do treat us some type of way, who do say ignorant things. But I also know that there are African Americans who do the same. Which brings me back to my point.